Hello and welcome. This is Miss Delaney coming to you again. If you saw my biology presentation, if not, welcome. I prepared a little presentation to give you an explanation and go over a couple things for the world history class this year. So if this is new to you, welcome. Please visit us tomorrow night if you have any questions, and please drop by the virtual back to school night. But otherwise, I wanted to give this presentation ahead of time just so you can see and understand what the world history class is about. So let me begin. A couple things I wanted to go over is the SDC Mild program. I have a picture of the textbook. I have a couple descriptors of the class, things that your student might look forward to or have a question about. I do go over and explain my rules and expectations. I have some online tools and apps I want to show you that the students will be using. And then lastly, I have my contact information. Um, okay, so the first thing I wanted to go to, if you weren't in, if your student is not in my biology class and you have not seen my biology presentation, um, pardon me, I get really nervous and I start to babble. One of the things I wanted to talk about is the mild SDC program. So the classes in the mild SDC program do meet high school graduation requirements, and our students do leave Monte Vista with a high school diploma. One thing I do need to reiterate, you might have already heard, but our classes do not meet A through G college entrance requirements. So our students are eligible straight after Monte Vista to go to a community college, and then from there transfer to a four-year, but they are not eligible to go straight to a four-year university. Um, One of the things that Ms. Correa, the other SDC teacher, and I try to do is give the students some skills and learn how to do certain things that will help them in life. And one of the biggest things is to advocate for themselves. I'm a huge um, advocator for advocating for yourself. I think that's a lifelong skill that anybody should know and learn. Another thing that we want to do is to give our students study skills and help them and learn to love being a student and to understand how to study for classes and how to do homework. But we don't do it for them. And so we try to impart just skills and just things that they'll need. And we try to teach them responsibilities that will help them in life after Monte Vista. This is the correct textbook, so I hope your child picked it up. If not, you can always reach out to me and I can get in contact with the textbook counselor. So this is the correct world history book. A description, again, the class is modified, so that's why it does not meet the A through G requirements. It doesn't have the rigor of a college prep class. It is Common Core aligned. I do follow the Common Core. Um, and just something to know that in addition to the textbook, I do use a lot of other resources. I like to incorporate other materials just to keep the class interesting and to help engage the students. So I cover those resources and those tools in a slide in a couple minutes, but I do supplement a lot. Just because the textbook can get a little dry and boring, so I like to stir it up a little. Um, but skills, I have the students work on just annotating. Annotating is a huge skill, especially when they do move on to community college and college. It's a really important higher level thinking critical skill. So I work on annotating, analysis, note taking. That is definitely a skill a lot of students struggle with. So again, that's an important skill for later in their college careers. And also writing paragraphs, writing the typical 5 paragraph essay and doing research. A lot of students, I think, A lot of people, including myself, take Wikipedia for granted, and that's not always the best option. So some skills we will be working on are research, or a skill we will be working on is research. Um, okay, I'll just go over this really briefly. It is in my course policy, which is in my Google Classroom. So hopefully your child has given it to you to sign. But just one of the things that I really stress, choices and consequences. I really want to create a learning environment where students feel safe and they know they can express themselves and not be judged or criticized or belittled. So I really stress like choices and consequences. And so what I do is I start every student off with 100 points and for the semester. And so they do have opportunities to earn extra points. So maybe they've made some poor choices. I do give them chances to earn points back. So they're not forever penalized. Um, but I have a system, a 1, a 2, and a 5 point. So a -1 point is just for small infractions. And then it increases to 2 points, and those are just maybe you're distracting the class. They're not as serious, but still disruptive to the classroom environment. So maybe socializing or off task or having their earbuds in. And then it escalates to 5 points, which includes not following my video conferencing, my Zoom expectations. And there is a link to that in the course policy. So that's a whole separate page. And in that, I give students a gentle warning to make a better choice. After that, I exit them off the call and they lose 5 points. So 5 point deductions are bigger, are being defiant, causing, putting yourself or other students in jeopardy or harm. Um, and and at that point, that involves parents and administrators. But again, I'm always about choices and consequences and stressing that let's make good choices, right? Because we don't want to face the consequences. And they can sometimes be not fun or just not very beneficial, not exciting. Again, students can earn points back, so they don't want to be. I don't want to penalize them forever. But again, some tools and online sites that we will be using. I've used Stanford University has a website called Reading Like a Historian, which I love. They have a lot of primary documents that I will have students read and analyze. Edpuzzle is a really fun way to engage. Um, I show there are little snippets or videos, and then the students have to engage and answer questions. So a lot of promoting critical thinking skills. Um, I've also used Khan Academy last year or last spring in the phase 2. I used the PBS um, website called Learning Media, which had a lot of great resources for history and other subjects as well. So I love that website. Um, as I've mentioned before, Ms. Correa and I have subscriptions to Scholastic magazines. So there's a magazine for teenagers created by the New York Times. So they always have great historical articles or just relevant stories in there. Um, and Common Lit. I've used Common Lit in the past. It's a great way to just assess reading, like how they're doing, but it also has really interesting articles and historical pieces. And the last thing which I skipped is IXL, which is new to Ms. Correa and myself this year, but I'm really excited because it looks like it has some amazing opportunities for students to really practice and hone their skills, and including too Google Classroom, which we will be using. Some fun apps which I've already used, Flipgrid, and Kahoot. I used Poll Everywhere last year. We haven't had a chance to use it yet. And then Remind is something new, which I'm kind of excited about. I think it'll be a really great way to keep students on track. Um, so this will be a very challenging time, the remote learning, but I'm really excited. I had a chance to learn a lot about these over the summer, um, the new ones. So really excited. We're going to use a lot of different resources. Um, okay, and the last thing is my name and my contact information, bdelaney@srvusd.net. My phone number, 408-7759, and my classroom phone when we return. So please don't hesitate to contact me. And I look forward to a really great and exciting year, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks. Bye-bye.